Hey, what's up, y'all? It's notarealaccount.com, and we are here with some Wildfrost. This is part of a new series that I'm trying to get started here. We're going to be exploring a couple games, and we're going to start off with Wildfrost. I've put about 10 hours into this game. Most of those hours were back in December, so it's been a hot second. But I did do one other run earlier today. Yeah, let's get into it. From our main menu, we'll just hit play. It's going to take us to our main village. There's a ton of things in here. A bunch of different upgrades that you can work on, and a bunch of pseudo achievements here. Controls can be a little weird on it, but when you figure it out, you figure it out. But these achievements will unlock later things as you go through. But we're just going to go ahead and get started. This is a roguelike deck builder. And off the bat, we've got 3 factions to start with. You've got, I think these are the Snow Dwellers. I'm going to go back and actually make sure I get their names right. We've got the Snow Dwellers, kind of working with snow, a mechanic that kind of freezes the opponent. And some with fire, temporary attack boosts. We've got Shade Mancers, who generally like summon a bunch of enemies or summon a bunch of temporary allies, and then you can use them to sacrifice later. And we've got my favorite over here, the Clunk Masters. They have a bunch of weird stuff that they like to work with. And some of their designs are a whole lot of fun. We're going to see if I can get some of these. So when you pick your faction, you get 3 different potential heroes that you can work with. This guy on the left takes additional damage from all sources. Doesn't count down. Not the best. This guy gains a block, which is kind of an immunity on kill. And this guy applies ink, which is like a mass silence effect. And he hits randomly. That'll make more sense as we get in. I like this guy. Let's see what we got. As you work in the game, as you complete runs, you'll unlock additional allies, and you get to pick whichever one you want to take with you. I think I'm going to take Binku so that we're just playing with a bunch of ink this run. We're just going to see what we can find. It takes you out to this fun map here, and let's get into our first battle here. Fight with Pangoons. There's a lot of different mechanics in here, but the main ones, you've got 2 kind of lanes, and you've got enemies in each lane. I'm going to keep my guy up there. Each turn, you can play up to 1 card out of your hand, and I think I'm going to try to take out this penguin here. Every turn after you play a card, this counter blow will count down, and when it hits 0 on an ally, they'll do whatever their attack is, seen in the top right, and apply whatever bonus effect they've got. Let's go with... There's a bunch of different mechanics in here. This card got powered up because it's in the right side of my hand, and it's going to make whatever enemy I apply this to not move for a while. So we're just going to do it there. This guy in front of us will hit back if he survives an attack, which he won't. So we should be okay there. Like I said, there's a lot of things in here. A lot of wild mechanics to kind of interact with and play with. As you can see from my hand here, we're not redrawing every turn. Every turn, this bell will count down. When it looks like this, I get a free redraw. If I didn't wait for it to count down, and it, like here, it's got a 4 in it, I could activate it now and get the attack off when I want, but it would take multiple But it would end my turn then. And I don't really want to do that right now. So let's see. Let's start trying to work on the Waddle Goons here. Because they're going to hit multiple times, and that's a bit of a problem for us. This thing is powered up when it's in the rightmost part of my hand, so I don't think we're going to get it all the way over there, unfortunately. So if I want to activate it now, I could just activate it. And that would probably be my best shot here, because we're about to attack my ally. And that would knock him out for most of the rest of the fight. Like I said, we got to redraw. We'll go back in and we'll find something better to work with. In this case, I'm going to actually power up my companion here. The other mechanic that a lot of these Clunk Masters work with is Junk. It's a card that does nothing, but you need to have some amount of it to attack. You need to have some number of it to activate certain cards, and those cards kind of tend to do something more powerful. Yeah, we're just gonna wrap up this fight here, hopefully pretty quickly. That's what I was hoping he would do. Aimless means he attacks randomly. Hard to figure out exactly where he's gonna go, but sometimes you just get lucky. The other part of Aimless, which you might have seen, is in these two separate rows, the enemies almost always attack the character right in front of them. The one exception to this are Aimless cards, which attack randomly. And I think there's another keyword, but I can't remember what it is. So we killed the first fight. We got gold from killing the enemy. And we're just going to move on. We've got a couple different routes we can go down. This will give us another companion and some gold. Or you can get a random not companion card and a charm. At the end, we'll already get a traveler anyway, so I'm just going to take the treasure side. And a lot of this is building the deck. So I like Magma Booster. Increase attack by 3, add Aimless to the target. It's generally not going to do anything. So, or if I put it on my hero, which I should be able to, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to be a +3 attack. What I got here is a charm. A charm is a permanent effect that I can apply to any card. This one's a little weird. The card will be consumed when I use it, but it gets +5 attack on it. I don't think I have any cards right now that I want to apply this to, so I'm actually going to hold on to it. And I can go back later and add it to another card if I find something I like. And out of our choices here, this guy also hits ally behind. I don't know if I like that. While active, add +2 multi-attack to all clunker allies. That's kind of fun. I'm going to take Skaven, though. I've got a couple cards that care about junk, and every time this guy attacks, he'll put junk in my hand. So that way I'll have plenty of resources. We're going to fight the glowberries. Let's see who we want to take out. The Earthberry would be a good one to take out really quick. The Berry Witch, well, I mean, if we can just ink the Earthberry, I think we'll be okay. So I'm actually going to throw him here. It's not a firm commitment if I put an enemy there, because before I do any actions, I can just move him to whichever row I want. So what I think I'm going to start with is I'm going to throw out Binku now. Go and get his countdown started. And we are just going to use our ink to take out the Earthberry. He doesn't deal any damage without his effect, so that way we don't have to worry about him too much. And then use the Gear Hammer to help me take out the Berry Witch here. We're going to leave Binku to fight the Earthberry. Now there's a million different mechanics in this game. I'm going to actually put out our Junk Head. This is kind of like an ally, but not really. They have slightly different effects. I don't like what I've got in my hands, so we're going to reshuffle and see what we can find. Here's one of the enemies that can hit in the back. I don't think I've seen an ally have that, but doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Do I have trash in my hand? I don't. So I can't actually use the Sun Song box. But I am going to go ahead and use my... Oh, I can't use my Magma Booster there. Sometimes you learn about mechanics and you realize, that doesn't work quite how I wanted it to. But that's just part of the game. I'm going to put out Skaven, go ahead and get his counter started. He did not attack where I wanted him to, but I think we'll be okay. I am going to go ahead and Magma Booster Binku. That way we're just throwing out a bunch of ink everywhere. And for our defense, I'm just going to go ahead and, well... Yeah, I'm just going to Snowzuka this Earthberry. Put him on ice for a little bit. And give us a little bit of time to deal with him. And there we go. Now we've got a bunch of junk in our hand, so I could power up whoever I want to. I think I'm going to power up Skaven. And you see it discarded the junk out of my hand. So now if I want to use that ability again, I'll have to regenerate that card. I'm going to actually move Skaven up so he can take out the Earthberry, and we're going to kill that Earthberry. So as you can see, there's a ton of different things that can happen here. And I'm gonna, well... Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Gear Hammer on the berry, which makes sure that we're not getting too much healing on the enemies there. We've got a junk in our hand, so I could power up Skaven again. I could actually... Now here's the thinking. When I do this, it's going to reduce his counter by 1. So if I drop him down and power him up, he'll get to attack this turn, and he'll take out the Berry Witch. And we've really weakened the Queen Glowberry because they can't deal any damage. Because their effect's no longer active. I'm just going to slap around. Now, if there's not an enemy in... If there's not an enemy in the lane that you're attacking, you'll just attack the other lane. So, for example, here, Skaven doesn't have anyone in his lane, but he's going to cross over and attack the other lane. Very important to learn, because the enemy has the same mechanic. So sometimes you'll plan something out and then realize the enemy is attacking your entire squad. Next up is a boss, so we've got 1 treasure coming up. So I could either get 2 treasures, gold, and a charm, 2 treasures, a traveler, and a shop. Let's see what our treasure is first. Let's see if this will change up what we're thinking. An active add barrage to allies in the row. Ooh, that's a fun one. Bomb barrel's really fun. That's a lot of junk, and I don't have a lot of junk cards, so I think I'm going to take it. But I might not be able to use it immediately. Let's go ahead and use our Frozen Travelers. We're going to take the bottom row and see if we can find anything. When hit, boost the effects of a random ally and enemy by 1 is a little sketchy. I like Snobble, but I also like Roibos. When hit, add +1 to an ally with the lowest attack. I don't have consistent snow, so I'm tempted on Snowboo. But also buffing the power of everyone is also nice. Let's go... Let's go with Roibos. We don't have a ton of health on our side yet, so he can kind of be a little bit of a tank. We can build him up as we go. Ooh. And this is what I was looking for. Add +1 to a card in your hand. This is multi-attack. But that's recycle too, so that will work with our junk. Destroy a card in your hand, add its attack to a random ally. I think we're going to take Frenzy Wrench, and we're just going to be playing with a lot of junk. So here's our shop. We got a couple different things that we can buy here. Lumen Lantern seems interesting, but I don't know that I want it. I don't think we're going to use Blaze Bomb. Demon Heart, a lot of these effects are really cool because it's a benefit, but it will also hurt you. For example, this Demon Heart, the next attack that the character that's targeted will deal double damage, but it's also heal on it. So if you can play it right, it works out really well. But it's also a little sketchy. So I'm actually not going to buy any cards. I could buy charms here. It'll give me a random charm. Or I can buy a crown. What a crown does is when I start the game, I always have my leader in my hand. A crown lets me put another card in my hand. So if I, for example, wanted to make sure my first hand had a bunch of junk in it, which I think is what I'm going to do, I can always start with Bomb Barrel in my hand. So we're going to take that one, and we're going to go and fight Bamboozle. Each round has 3 bosses. Hits all enemies, yep. So I think we're going to put Snud back here. We're going to Bomb Barrel the bottom row. So see, I've got a ton of junk in my hand, so I can use whatever effects I want to. This is actually going to work out really well for us. So I'm going to use Frenzy Wrench. Oh, it's a card in my hand. Whoops. So I'm actually going to start with Sun Song Box. Hopefully get our leader attacking a little early. Well, let's throw Skaven out there. I attacked the wrong enemy, which is unfortunate for me. I'm going to use Frenzy Wrench on one of these gear hammers here. So because the enemy's in the front, it's a little harder to hit the enemies in the back. I'm going to just use one of my weaker gear hammer there. And I'm going to see what Snudback does before I try to attack the guy in the back. He hits all enemies, so what I actually really want, I would love the Flask of Ink, or the Snowzuka. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put that back in my deck and see if I can't get any ink. And I've got both inks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hero in the back to kind of defend him. And I'm just going to ink the front guy. And now he's guaranteed got ink. One benefit on bosses is they always change. Or the one thing that happens on bosses is it always changes. Magma Booster, I think we're eventually just going to pitch. Alright, so Winterworm is ready to attack. He's got a lot of attacks, so I want to kill him. I think I'm just going to take him out. And we're going to look at what we've got. So we've got 2 different attacks. If I do this, actually, both attacks would hit my junk head, would give me trash in my hand. I think that might be what we do. Or the other thing I can do is I can put Roybos out and start getting our attack up. I think that's what we're going to look at. There we go. Wild Snoof, I can't take him out, so there's no point in really worrying about him. Let's go ahead and start getting Binku going. Get that counter going. And that's the one I was hoping we'd hit. So I could let them just attack Roybos again. Get more power up. It would power up Binku pretty well. And I think we're going to do that. So I'm just going to reshuffle and we're going to see what I've got. Got a Flask of Ink if I want to. Or... yeah, I think we'll use a Gear Hammer here. We'll try to start taking out the Snowbow. Now my Roygos is getting a little hurt, and so is my Skaven. So I could take them actually out of the fight for now. And I think I might do that. At any point, you can take most of your allies here, put them in your deck. It'll heal them and shuffle them into the discard. Now my hand's not very good right now. I would like to... I'm very tempted, actually, to just hit my redraw bell now. Because I've set myself up in a weird way. So I'm going to take a turn off, and we're going to see what's going on. Alright, the enemies that came in aren't too terrifying, so we don't have to worry too much about that. The only lose condition in this game is your leader dying, and you can't retreat your leader. Your leader always has to be out. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put my junk head out, generate a bunch of junk, and also defend my hero. Let him attack, and we'll see where we go from here. And that's what I was looking for. So now the front enemy is very weakened. And let's take out the snowbow here. Alright. They're attacking again. I think I'm going to go ahead and take out the snowbow. There goes our trash head there. And we're ready for the Sun Song box. So we're going to use on Binku, and we'll get them to both attack. And luckily for us, Ink is disabling a bunch of different effects, so we're getting a bunch of help out here. I'm actually going to let Binku take that attack. And we're going to take our free redraw and see what we can find. Got a bunch of junk in my hand, so I don't really want to add more junk right now. I think I'm going to use the Frenzy Wrench on the Gear Hammer. And now I'm thinking about it, I probably should have just hit the Winter Worm, but this will take him out, even if it takes a while, even if it's not as efficient as I might have liked. So Binku would die here if I just left him out. So I'm not going to leave him out, and I'm just going to... Let's give him a Magma Booster. And I could use Bomb Barrel and throw a bunch of junk in my deck. I'm just going to reshuffle. I'll take the turn off and make sure that I can actually kill the enemy here. And that'll do it. Double Gear Hammer. First boss is dead. Obviously, a boss is dead, so we're going to get a special reward. It'll show us 6 different things, and we get to take 2 of them. For example, we've got a crown. We've got these bells, which are actually really nice. And we've got a couple different extra powerful charms. I think I'm going to take Sunbell of Strength, which is going to power up a bunch of our items. And I'm going to Sunbell of the Bell, which is going to make our redraw counter tick down just that little bit faster. And now we're on stage 2. There are 3 different stages to each run. I don't need more. Well, I could use more travelers, but a lot of them don't. Well, it's kind of weird because I've got 4 allies. And I got a bunch of cards in my hand. So I could use more travelers, fill up my board, or I could try to get more clunkers. Let's go and go down here, find our charm, and see what our treasure is. Battle Charm, +2 attack. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Who do we want to be stronger? I could put it on my hero. I could put it on really anything that does damage. I think I'm going to make my hero stronger. I think by default, each card can have up to 3 charms placed on it. So you can make a really powerful card, or you can just kind of take it back and do it slowly. Berry Basket's always a fun one. Haze is kind of wild. Super Snower I've not worked with, but we've got a bunch of junk. So I think we'll take Super Snower for now. We'll look at what the Woolly Snail has for us. Don't have a ton of money, but we'll see. And now here's the reason that you shouldn't necessarily just use your charms immediately. Slapcrackers is my absolute favorite card in this game. Pom Bomb's also really good. But Slapcrackers is so fun. So it hits 4 times. What is this? I've never See this button? Oh, you can rename it. Okay, so it hits a random target 4 times. By default, it does 1 damage, which, not that exciting. But you can add power boosters. So if I hadn't put the +2 attack here, I could have put it here. And so this card would deal 3 damage 4 times, which is very strong. I don't really want the snow globe. I think I've got enough snow right now. But yeah, there's a lot of really fun combinations in this game, especially as you start to play around. So I'm going to put my ally out here. And we're going to go ahead and throw our bomb barrel out. That way we've got a ton of junk to play with if we've got anything we want to work with. Palm bomb is not exactly what I was hoping to get here. I think we might be in a rough situation. But that's okay. We'll work through it. So I'm going to put Skaven out. We're going to go ahead and get these counters going. We're going to put a junk head out just to make sure we've got a little bit of defense held back. I'm going to go ahead and just drop my palm bomb. Make sure that this enemy is going to be dead after we take care of them. And now I could redraw, but there's not really a ton of benefit to it yet. So I'm going to put Binku out. One thing that I could also do, there's a wave bell. It tells you when enemies are coming and how many enemies are coming. You can also just always wait and see what's coming on in your own time. Now, we've hit a problem. I have a lot of junk in my hand, and I have no way to spend it. So, when I redraw my cards here in a little bit, I'm going to reshuffle all that junk back in my hand. Not ideal, to say the least, but sometimes you just have to put it in there. Now we've got a little bit of junk in our hand, so I could use the Suntong box, get Binku going. I think I am going to do that. I put Skaven out because I didn't want the... I didn't really want our junk head to be hit for no damage, but I think I'm going to drop him back out front. And we're going to go with our gear hammer here. And we're going to start trying to take care of all this trash here. I'm very tempted to use the slap crackers, but it would on the top row, but it would anger Grog, and I don't need to do that yet. So we're gonna put the gear hammer there. Let our junk head take 1 more damage. And let's see what we want to do. I think I'm going to use the slap crackers on the bottom row here. And we're going to see what happens. Alright. I have the Snowzuka powered up, and I'm going to go ahead and use it on Grog. And now we can sit King Moko. Very strong enemy. Very fun fight to do, believe it or not. But it can be a little rough. Is it up to 2? Alright. We're going to go ahead and use our Super Snower. Oh, nope, we don't have it yet. That's what I thought. And I can't use the Frenzy Wrench either. Uh-oh. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a problem. I'm going to go ahead and try to take out our Pepper Witch a little bit. We're going to take out the Pepper Witch. We're going to get some junk in our hand this turn. And that will let us use Frenzy Wrench on our Super Snower. That way we can put out a bunch of snow next turn. And I wasn't paying attention to my leader's health. That's as easy as it goes. Uh-oh. Oh, lordy. as you can see, the game will end very quickly. I'm going to try to hit one more run because we didn't really get that far, and I didn't do much. I warmed up with the snow dwellers. Let's go back to the snow dwellers. I like the concept of pit snow here. Wolf is an interesting one to play around. Croodle seems fun too. Let's go with Croodle, and we're gonna have a bunch of allies that we're gonna try to play with. Our leader's trying to get hit, so I'm gonna take Boshu, who, whenever they attack, will heal all of our allies. And let's do something real quick. We're gonna heal. When destroyed, add 1 health to all allies. Let's leave him alone for a hot second. Let's put out Boshu. And we're going to... So as you can see, each different faction has their own set of starting items. For example, the Sunrod here decreases the counter by 2. So I'm going to power up our hero, and then I'm going to use the Sunrod to get them down to 0. And that means that they'll attack first this time. By default, all the enemies attack first. But if you get your counter down to 0, then you will attack first. I hate that the bee berry is right up front, but I don't think there's anything I can do about that. So I'm going to go ahead and snow the goblin and just be prepared to redraw this turn and see what we get. Could use the Sunrod again. Doesn't really do a ton. I'm going to use the Flame Water on the hero. I'm going to use the Scrappy Sword to take out the Berry Witch. And let's go ahead and use our Snow Stick a little bit more. And we can get Croodle to attack first. And what comes out? Bogberry. When healed, gain 2 attack. So we need to get through the bee berries. And I'm going to focus on that. So that did power him up. Sometimes you can understand exactly how things are going to work. Sometimes it's a little nebulous. But I've not had too much of a problem with it. And I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to power up our Croodle. That way, I'm going to go and kill the boss here. Now where we go. As you can see, most of the early fights pretty quick. I don't really... Well, I do want more allies, so I am actually going to take the double ally path here. See if we can't get more people. Moko Totem seems actually really good in this. I've never seen that before, but with the build that we're kind of working with, I think that might be good. Although Heart Mist Station is fairly valuable when you're trying to take a bunch of damage. Let's go. Deals additional damage equal to health. With Smackback is fun. When health is lost, gain an equal amount of spice. I think we're running the spice build from the cards that we've gotten so far. I think we can work with this. This is a shroom attack. I don't think we need to worry about that. Ooh. I think Fulbert, though, does make sense in this set. Because he powers up whenever we give spice. So we need to take out Uba Bear, hopefully without anyone getting snowed, if we can avoid it. Yeah, we're going to go and do that. I'm going to go ahead and put out our totem already. And we'll use the Woodhead. I'm not normally a huge fan of having the Woodhead out, but it takes a hit, so can't complain too much about it. And I'm going to go ahead and put out Boshu. Just make sure we're getting going, having fun. And we are going to go and use our Scrappy Sword. That's not who I meant to attack. But that's what happens when you attack too quickly. Oh, well. Alright. Let's redraw, and who are we playing with? So Fulbert will get an attack out, so I want to put Fulbert actually over here to take out Uba Bear. I think we'll put Fire Fist out in front. Alright. We've got a bunch of different enemies here. We're not going to get to the Goblin this fight. It's going to be a little too complicated to get there. I think I'm going to use Fire Water on Krudel. That way they can take out the Snow Gobbler. You'll apply temporary attack reduction. I'm not a huge fan of that. Who do I want to take damage? Technically nobody. I'm going to freeze that up there. Snow Gobbler got a buff, but the Snow Gobbler was going down anyway. Let's go and freeze the Porcupine. It does a barrage attack, so it attacks everyone in the row. I don't want to deal with that. You got 1 damage? Oh, we can handle 1 damage. Bam. Nice and easy. And Bumbo. Apply 2 snow with a barrage. I don't like that. So let's... How can we take care of the enemies? We take out the Frostinger up top. Let's see what our new hand has. So I can apply freeze. The bosses normally have the snow shield, which means they can't be snowed for more than 1 turn. But it does work for 1 turn. So I'm gonna Fire Bottle Krudel again. I think we're just gonna try to focus on taking out Bumbo here. I don't see a reason to do anything else. So I'm actually going to switch Boshu over. Oh, applying 2 snow and a barrage. So I'm actually going to go ahead and snow him. There's a little bit of time to retaliate. And actually a lot of time to retaliate, because we're going to do it again. So Fulbert died, but the boss is dead. So the encounter will be over. I'm just going to rush through a little bit. These are some of the extra people I've unlocked through playing the game. Let's see if we get a card here. Shroomy I don't think is very helpful. Pepper Reaper's an interesting one. With how much healing we're getting, Heartforge might make sense, and it does benefit our extra spice. I think it's either between Heartforge or Pepper Reaper. I think I'm going to take Heartforge. Because in the worst case scenario, Heartforge will just take some damage for us. Now, do I have any cards I want to duplicate? I don't think I do right now. The Sunrod's always has some value, but it's not super valuable. And I do have some money for the Charm Merchant, but I'm also going into the Woolly Snail. So I think I'm going to go down, get the 75 or 64 rolled. I didn't realize that rolled around. Ooh, Peppering. And we're just going to buy stuff from the Woolly Snail. The Charm Merchant's generally pretty good. They carry 1 upgraded card and a bunch of charms. But, I mean, sometimes you just have to go something else. Nothing here really works that strongly with our build. There's some really good cards in the shop that can help with the fire build, but we don't have any. All right, let's see what we got. So someone's got to get a crown. I think the crown is going to go ahead and go over to Fulbert. Well, I think I am going to give it to Fulbert. The crown can be moved around. So if I change my mind, Fulbert's not working, I can move the crown over to like Fire Fist or something. The charms cannot be moved. Is there anyone who really needs damage or a shield? Fulbert might need it, but I'm not feeling super confident on it yet. So we're going to hold on, and And we're going to go fight the boss. We're going to put Fire Fist... Well... No, we're going to put Fire Fist up top. We're going to put Cruddle down below. And I don't know what we're going to do here. So the boss gains attack whenever an ally is killed. So I want to try to take out the Mini Moko before they get too powerful. So I think that means I'm going to try to get Boshu out and see. It's not really going to get Mini Moko going that much faster, but it'll at least be a start. So let's do that. And actually, our Cruddle's going to be taking a fair amount of damage, so let's get our Moko Totem out and get that starting to build. So our boss is going to take a little bit of, our hero's going to take a little bit of damage here. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and put the Fire Water here so they can take out Mini Moko. Unfortunately, after he's buffed himself, but it's not the end of the world. Do I want to use the Scrappy Sword, or do I want to see what's in the deck? I think I want to see what my other cards are. Let's put out Fulbert here, actually. Fire Fist is going to take out Porcupine. Boshu's going to deal some good damage to Infernoco. And we can use our Pepper Ring. Put a little bit of mushrooms out there. That's just the ticking damage. Similar to poison if you played Slay the Spire. How can we take out the boss this turn? Get into phase 2. I think the best way is just gonna be Sun Running our champion. And the boss is down. So now every time they attack, they'll just get a power. That's not too hard to fight. I don't necessarily like the Frostinger lowering my attack, but he's only doing 1 damage. I'm not too worried about that. So I'm actually going to Snow Stick. I'm going to Snow Stick the Mini Moko. Take him out of the fight for a hot second. And I don't really want to work with the Snow Stick, so let's shuffle back in, see if we can't find... I was hoping for the Pepper Ring. Did not get it there, but that's okay. And we're going to... I was going to Sunrod Boshu, but I think we're actually going to wait on that one. I'm going to put out the Heartforge. And the Moko Totem activated. That's what we were waiting for. Two Blessings from the Sun. Shroom we're not really playing with. Sunbelt of Strength, like we saw earlier, really good. Infinity Sunbell is one I'm a real fan of. Draw a card each turn while the redraw bell is charged. That way you don't have to draw it. It's just when you get a hand of bad cards, then you can shuffle it. I like the way that that plays. Battle Charm's an interesting one. Leader health +6. Generally beneficial when your leader's getting hit a bunch. Battle Charm and a Crown. I'm really conflicted here. We're not taking Battle Charm because Sunbelt Strength will do better for us than that. I think I might have enough health. We're going to take Sunbelt of Strength and we're going to take Infinity Sunbell. And onward we go. An Injured Companion. We didn't see this last run, but when you lose a run, you will have an Injured Companion from your last run. You get Roybos again, that we can add back to our squad. He's got to survive one combat, and then you can put him in. Now, I've hit a limit here. You could actually only have 3 companions. I really like my 3 companions. Boshu might get swapped out eventually. So we're going to take Roybos out, but I have the option to put him back in if I want to. So I can get Traveler, Treasure, and the Woolly Snail, or I can get a Charm, Traveler, and a Treasure. I think we're going to go for the Charm. I've got some money, but I don't have a ton of money, so I don't think we're too worried about that right now. Gain Flourish when healed. Max HP also increases. That's actually a really good one. I think Fire Fist and Crudel are both good ones to get this. But I think we're going to go ahead and put it on Crudel. Make sure our hero's got a little bit of health. Our Frozen Traveler is going to be... Foxy's a fun one. Not right for this run. Wallop's an interesting one. Yuki is very niche, but when you have a good snow run, Yuki's very good. I'm going to take Foxy, but Foxy is going to be on our bench. Foxy is actually a good beneficiary to a pepper run. Ooh, mobile campfire is also really good there. I think we're going to take the Zoomlin Wafers. Add Zoomlin to all the cards in your hand, which means that when you play the card, you get to play another card. I don't expect to use that often, but it's a good option to have. We're going to line it up this way. Let's just see what we can't figure out. Heartforge is not working for us, but that's okay. Grumps is a funky one. I would like to take care of Grumps quickly if I can. But also Makoko can get a little funky here. So I'm going to take Makoko out this round. And we are going to... Let's go with Snow Stick Grumps. Let's see if we can't get big damage on Grumps real quick. I don't really have anything that I can do, so I'm gonna Sunrod Fire Fist, which will lower Fire Fist attack, but I think we'll be okay. And we're gonna redraw because the cards in our hand aren't very good for us. Ah, Fulbert. Let's get Fulbert out. Get this interesting play started. I think we're gonna go ahead and get Boshu out too. While we're looking at things here. Give him some peppering. Get more shrooms out. That pepper witch is gonna be gone. And we're gonna be 1 damage off of dealing with the goblin. Unfortunate, but how do we want to take care of this? See, there's a lot of situations like this where you're just trying to figure out how best to take care of everything. We're gonna go ahead and use our Scrappy Sword on Grumps. It'll lower its attack for the rest of this run, but that's okay. We can fight with that. Boshu's going to attack the Pepper Witch and is going to take it out, so I'm not too worried there. Let's use the Snow Stick on Grumps and get Grumps out of here. Ooh, and we can start deploying our Moko Totem. Yes, please. Thank you. Ah, King Moko, we meet again. Moko Totem is actually be really helpful here. Flame Water is an interesting one. I don't know that it does enough in this particular situation. So I'm going to redraw, and we're going to see what our options are. I really don't know what the best option is here. So I'm just going to Sunrod Fire Fist. We're going to let Moko buff us up before we deal any damage out. Start our Moko Totem going. Because I don't want Makoko to be dealing too much damage, we're going to Snow Stick him. Just take him out. Nice and easy. We got 2 turns left. I could use Zoomlin Wafer and just be all powered up for next turn. I don't know that that's what I want to do, though. Let's move Crudel down. And let's hit the Pepper Witch. go. Moko Totem, taking care of King Moko. That's why we bring it. And Roybos has recovered from his injuries. Nice. So we got treasure. We'll go ahead and take that. Funko Blaster is an interesting one. If we were going for more of a shroom build, I would take it. I think we're going to hit Spice Sparklers. When active, it had 3 attack to all items in your hand. Again, we've got an interesting choice. So the Muncher will let us remove as many cards from our hand as we want, or from our deck as we want. It'll give us treasure. Or we could get a Traveler that we could potentially look at, and a Charm. I'm going to take the Muncher because I've got a couple heart cards I'm a little sick of seeing. I don't want the Woodhead. We're not really using the Heartforge, so I think I'm actually going to just go and take that out. I was wrong. You only get to give 2 cards, but that's okay. I got 2 cards I wasn't a huge fan of. I don't think there was really anything else in my hand I wasn't a huge fan of. Berry Basket. We're trying to take a bunch of damage. I think that's how we want to play it. Aha. And we've got an interesting play here. The enemies have this condition known as teeth. So when we deal damage to them, they deal damage back. You've got aimless, so we attack randomly. It's a very interesting combination to be playing against. Let's go ahead and put Crudel down here so we can take a little bit of damage. Let's get Moko Totem out. Well, we got a hot second. So most of my opportunities here, I'm going to try to put all the enemies attacking in this row. So we're focusing our attack on the guy who's giving the enemies teeth, which is making it harder for us to attack. It's not going to be always possible. For example, I think Crudel here... Actually, we are going to go and move Crudel up. I was tempted to leave Crudel down to take this hit, but it's going to be the same damage over here, so we'll leave him down. Let's put out our Spice Sparkler. And now our sword deals 7 damage. Again, we're going to try to take out this Marrow up here. I'm going to use my Scrappy Sword on Smog here. I would like to take care of the Smog if I can, because the Smog is the one that's really problematic for us. I could just do a direct hit, and I think that might be what I do to just take him out. Yeah, we're going to go with that. But I do want Fulvert down on the bottom row. I don't want to be hitting the Pawpaw with weak attacks. So that's why that's going to go there. 1 damage off killing the Gromble. All good. Tempted to use the Berry Basket, and it still might be the right call to use the Berry Basket. Maybe not. Let's use our Sunrod on... Yeah, let's use our Sunrod on Crudel. Get the Grumble out of here. Now we've got everyone healed up with just a little bit. So our front 2 allies are going to take a little bit of damage, and that's okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a heal off. Just while we got a little bit of time. Just a little bit of downtime. I'd love to take care of the Goblin. I don't think I can really take care of the Goblin, so we're going to leave that there. I'm going to use the Sunstick on Pawpaw up top. Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and summon the enemies a little earlier than I normally like. Trigger when hit. So they're going to deal 5 damage every time they're hit. And there's an aimless. Uh-oh. We've got a funky situation now. Not a huge fan of this one, but let's take care of the Gromble while we can, while we're looking at him. And this will actually activate the Moko Totem. Let's do it this way. That'll take out the Maw Jaw. There we go. Unfortunately, our allies didn't get to attack and get that little bit of gold at the top, but we took care of the fight. That was the big thing. Is there anything else that I don't like having in my deck? I think everything else... I mean, the Zulin wafers are a little weird to use. But everything else, I like what I've got. So I don't really want to get the Muncher. But I also don't need the Blink Snail Cave. I don't need extra gold. Let's take it anyway. See if we can't get a better Traveler. Bonnie's a fun one. Doesn't do any damage. Enemy is killed. Apply 3 to the attacker. Pimento is a really strong attacker. So this is making things a little interesting. Because I think Fire Fist has been good at tanking a bunch of damage and dealing it out. It's interesting. Because then we're just buffing him up permanently anytime they get peppers. I mean, Fulbert's been kind of helpful, but not as helpful as I'd like. So we're going to switch that out there. And we're going to go to our shop and we're going to spend a bunch of money. We got 315 gold. Good God. There's a lot to do here. We're going to go ahead and put a crown in our collection. We'll use that at some point. Grabber's always an interesting one, especially if any of the enemies have this kind of scrap health. I think I'm going to take the Sunlight Drum. I think we will go ahead and take the Grabber. And let's get a bunch of charms out here. Apply 1 temporary damage down. Not a huge fan. And our next charm is... what do we got? Gain Fury 4. They're the only one in the row. Deal with +4 damage. We don't really have anyone that's alone in their row, so that's not really going to be too helpful for us. I think we'll go ahead and put our Fire Squad out right at the start. And... I mean, I could put the Acorn Charge on Pimento, and I might do that before the final boss, but I'm not really seeing a reason to do it right now. I think other than that, there is value in doing any of that, but we're going to go ahead and wait. We're going to go fight our second boss, Truffle. So this is a Shrooms boss. They do a bunch of different things here. We're just going to throw them out. Like I said, we can reorganize them. It's not a big deal. I would like to kill the Pop Shroom, if possible. And it looks like it will be. The Truffle's not great to have up front, but we'll go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and get Pimento with the Sunrod. Go ahead and get that chain started. We're going to put the Flame Water on... well, we might not actually use the Flame Water here. Let's go ahead and Scrappy Sword the Shroom Gobbler. And both our allies are going to take some damage here. I think that's okay. Just going to Snow Stick the Shroom Gobbler. And this is set up to hit the boss. I think we're pretty good here. I'm going to go ahead and redraw and see what we can find. Playing the Grabber here would be interesting on the boss. I don't know that it's good for us. I'm not going to use the Pepper Ring yet, actually. I'm going to wait on that one for a hot second. I'll clear Zulin Wafer. Our boss splits when he gets below 10 health. I would like to do that at a controlled point in time. Let's put Boshu out. Let's move Spice out. Go and use our Pepper Ring. Get everyone all buffed up. Let's take out the Puffball. Bring up the Shrews. We're going to put Pimento down. And let's go ahead and do our redraw. Alright. So now the Shroom Gobbler. I think I'm just going to take him out with Grabber. We'll go ahead and put out our Moko Totem. Start building up the peppers on them. And let's get a heal. Let the enemy hit, and then we'll split him. Deal a bunch of damage. And I think Sunlight Drum might be our best use here. I think I'm going to do it this way. Just kind of try to shred this truffle as much as possible. When they split, I mean, their health goes half each side, so... Let's take out... Let's snow stick the one in the back. Ooh. This is not a great situation for us to be in. How do we want to take out these enemies? I think we need to take out the Pop Shroom first. Not exactly how I want to do that, but... I don't think the Sunrod is quite what we want. So we're going to go ahead and reshuffle. See what we got. Pepper Ring's an interesting one. Sunlight Drum is also an interesting one. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Sunlight Drum. That'll get Boshu ready a turn earlier. I mean, Fire Fist is still going to be alive, so it's not as big of a concern for us. And let's... I was actually thinking about Pepper Ring. I think I want to use a Scrappy Sword to get this truffle out of the way. As you can see, bunch of different ways that you can think about each fight. 4 damage to Fire Fist would kill Fire Fist. And I need to start thinking about the other truffles too. I'm going to actually go ahead and put Pimento out front. I do need to take the Shroom Gobbler out though. That needs to be my focus right now. So we're going to Snow Stick the Shroom Gobbler. And Kroodle can take one more hit. Can take one more hit. No one else can technically take a hit. So I think we're okay to let... Actually... Yeah, we'll let Kroodle take a hit and we'll Pepper Ring. Not ideal, but it should work. Go ahead and use our Scrappy Sword. Go ahead and get that split going. We've got Pimento ready to go. I think that would be the best thing that we can do here. Yeah, there we go. Get some healing out. Yes, please. Heal everybody up. And Snow Stick. Works for me. And we'll yank him up. And we will buff... Let's buff Kroodle. Not the best target, but it's okay. Just in case I made a mistake, we're going to put Fire Fist out front, and we're going to Scrappy Sword this truffle. I'll let Pimento take him out. Yes, please. King Moko didn't activate on that one. Unfortunately, I was a little bit off in that one. Recall Companion will count down the redraw bell by 2. An interesting one. Card draw +1. See more cards. That's always nice. Greed is a very interesting one, but I don't know if it's that helpful. Sunbell of the Fellowship is definitely what we want. Gives us an additional companion limit, so we can put someone back in that we want to have. I think, looking at what we've got, we might want to put in... I mean, card draw is always good. I think we'll just go ahead and take card draw and move on. And now that I have an additional companion slot, I think out of what I have, Fulbert's an interesting one. And I play with Foxy all the time. But Foxy is really good. So I think we'll promote Fox. Well, I'm going to demote Foxy. Well, let's bring Fulbert back. I don't really play with Fulbert that often. Now I'm conflicted. Because I've got a bunch of extra charms here that really help Foxy. So we're going to bring Foxy in. We're going to give him that extra health with the Acorn. And we're going to give him the apply damage down. Because he attacks multiple times, this is going to be especially valuable on him. And we're going to go for... Let's go for another charm. I'm pretty content with the cards I have. I'd like to see them more often. Gain Smack back. Oh boy. This has me conflicted. And the reason it has me conflicted is I think this game's biggest strength. This spyglass that I haven't looked at, it shows you the boss at the end of the run. Now, you might see there's a Boshu here. This is the last run I won with. At the end of each run, you have to beat your last winning run. So, here's the interesting conflict. Because if I put Smack back on something, then the boss for the next run, assuming I win this run, will have Smack back. So it's this kind of back and forth that is pretty interesting, I would say. We'll wait. Well, who would I even give Smack back to? I mean, Pimento would be really strong with Smack back. Fire Fist, it would kind of burn through the spice. I think Pimento is the one that has to get Smack back here, which means he has to take damage, but I think we can do that. He's got 7 health. He can take a couple hits. Especially on this fight. We're going to do this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put them all in the same row. I'm going to go ahead and Sunlight Drum them to start us off. And we're going to go ahead and get powered up a little bit. Moko Totem. Well, actually, I have to put Fire Fist there if I want to have Moko Totem out. So I think we're going to put Moko Totem there. We're going to go and start this pepper building immediately. The trick with this fight is all these enemies have wild, which means when they are killed, their allies get another attack. So timing everything right is very important here. As you can see, everyone's just got more powerful. The Warthog is strong, so I think he would actually take out my Fire Fist right now. I think it'll be okay. Let's go ahead and Pepper Ring. He's got Smack back. Yep. And I lost my Fire Fist. Not exactly what I was hoping to do, but sometimes you just make a mistake. So we're going to Snow Stack him. When they're snowed, they can't attack back. Who's giving them bonus attack? It's the Rock Hog. Uh-oh. This fight's getting very worrying very quickly. Let's go and see a new hand. I am not a fan of what I'm seeing here. I think I could be in trouble very quickly. I'm gonna put out my Spice Sparklers now and start prepping for for this round, because this round is gonna hurt. I think we're gonna have to actually put Pimento first so we can do some Smack back. So the grabber is going to kill this hog. And my scrappy sword is going to have to kill this hog. Pimento is going to die here. Actually, maybe not. We'll see. I might have this wrong. But I need that gone. Yeah, they were trading blows for a second. So I put myself in a weird situation right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put Foxy out. And we're going to go ahead and get Boshu going. We got a couple rounds before anyone shows up. And what do we want to Sunrod? Let's Sunrod Boshu so we're ready for this next set of enemies. Alright. Razor's got wild. He's going to bring a bunch of hogs with him. We're going to do that. Because we're going to get through this rock hog. Ooh. Not this way, we're not. I would need to kill the rock hog before I did anything. Yeah, this is a little sketchy. So I'm going to use the Sunsoak on Razor. We're going to give him another turn where he's not going to do anything. Our hogs are a little spread out. Boshu can take one hit, so I think we're okay here. And I am going to go with Berry Basket. Make sure my leader's healed. Uh oh. I put myself in a sketchy situation because I did not calculate something correctly. As you can see, if you make a mistake, you can cause yourself a lot of problems. So, alright, Foxy, come on. Thank you, buddy. Crudo can take a bunch of damage here, so yeah. So we're going to go ahead and put the peppering back out. We're going to let Foxy get real strong. And to finish off the fight, we'll Sunlight Jump. Make sure Foxy gets their hits. Kill the other hog, get some bonus damage, get some extra money. So that's how a fight can go wrong and can then be saved. Eye of the Storm is the end boss. It's got 2 stages. I think I might want to duplicate the Moko Totem, just so I've got 2 opportunities to do it. But then I'm also going into the last fight having a bunch of money left over. This is where, again, conflicted. I'm going to take... I mean, the Moko Totem is really strong, so I think we're just going to take the Charm and duplicate the Moko Totem. We're going to leave behind a couple resources, but I think that's okay. Add +2 attacks, gain consume. I don't think there's anything I want to do that for. No, I don't really have anything that works for that. Oh well. Shade Sculptor is going to give me another Moko Totem, please, and thank you. That way we've got 2 that we can unleash. And now on to the final boss. Stage 1. The last run I had. So now you can see some of the problems I've built myself. This guy has 5 walks, so you need to take 5 different hits to be vulnerable to anything. And he attacks every turn. So we're in for a rough fight with him. What I'm going to do... Because, I mean, Boshu heals allies, but I want to take care of the other allies first. We're going to go ahead and bring Wart up so we can take care of Wart. And I'm going to Snow Stick. We're going to leave him out of the fight for a hot second. And we're going to get... I'm very tempted to Sunlight Drum, which I think I might do. Yeah, let's go and do that. And like you can see, things get a little wild as we go into this. So Blunky's active again. He's going to deal a bunch of damage. Hopefully Crudo will take a little bit of damage, but not a lot. The shrooms are very scary in this section because it deals a bunch of damage that I can't protect against. So we're going to go ahead and try to put Foxy out. See what happens here. That was almost exactly what I could have hoped for. Pimento we can save. So I'm going to put Pimento back in the deck and save him. Make sure he doesn't die. Blunky's going to deal a bunch of damage here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put Fire Fist over here. Fire Fist is going to take a little bit of damage, but I think we'll be okay. Crudo needs to take this hit. We're going to go ahead and try to power up here a little bit. I will put out a Moko Totem. As you can see, my last run was very strong. So I'm in a little bit of a pickle here. What is in my deck that I could take? Get another Moko Totem. I could get a Snow Stick, which would be really helpful. I mean, a Berry Basket would also keep me alive. I've got a lot of options, so I'm going to see what's in my deck. I don't want to sacrifice a Moko Totem, but it would take both these hits, and I would stay alive. There's my Snow Stick that I was thinking about. If I just use the Snow Stick, Blunky will be out for another 2 turns, and Foxy will be buffed before he hits anyone. So he should actually be able to solo take out Wart. So I think I do want to use my Snow Stick here. Yeah, that's what we were looking for there. Plum is not ideal. Grizzle's a little hard to fight. I think this turn we're going to go ahead and use the Zoom Wafer and try to prepare for next turn. Because we're, as I've said, we're in a little bit of a pickle here. Put Boshu out. Throw the Peppering out. Why not? Should have put the Moko Totem out first. That was a tactical error. Throw the Berry Basket out. And now, I think I'm actually going to switch these two. And I'm going to hope that I can take out Boshu. I am unfortunately sacrificing my own. Well, if I put Foxy out first. I was going to say I'm sacrificing my own Boshu, but I'm not. Actually, yeah, that'll take out their Boshu. So we'll go ahead and take our redraw and see what comes of this. Alright. Plum is not great to fight against here. Foxy will be taking more damage, but it'll take out all the block here, which is the big thing. Actually very tempted to put Crudo first. So if I do that, that'll take out the block. How are we doing things here? I could also rush this and try to get Blunky out before he really deals damage. I think I might do that. We're going to use Sunlight Drum here. Not your favorite way to see this fight, but I think it will work out fairly well for us overall. We've got a full board, so I can't put out either the Spice Sparklers or the Pimento. Could put Fire Fist out front and heal. That's not going to last very long, but be better than nothing. Or I could bring Firefest back and put Pimento out to just take some hits and then heal. Boshu is sitting in the back. I would like to keep Boshu around. Keeping track of that healing As you can see, this game gets wild. We're going to go ahead and... I think I need to berry basket here. I don't think I have a way around it. So... this is a scary turn. So, Blunky's going to deal 4 damage. So we have 4, 2, and 4. If I put Foxy out first, Foxy would die. But everyone else would be alive. If I put Boshu out first, left Firefest in the back, Foxy would stay alive, but I'd be down a Boshu. I can't put Kroodle over there to take a bunch of damage. But if I do this, if I do that, I mean, I'll lose Boshu and Fire Fist, but I think we can live with that. Foxy will deal 9 damage to Blunky, and I can sword Blunky. So that'll be 10. And then we can start trying to take care of Woos, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. We are sacrificing Fire Fist here, but I think that's okay. Unfortunately, that's how this is going to go. Oh, Foxy's dead here. Not dead immediately, but hurt. So I take Foxy back so Foxy doesn't die. Put out Pimento. Yeah. I don't know that we can win here, is the situation that we've run into. When Kroodle gets hit, first Moko Totem will activate. We might be able to work with that. In that case, I think I want to use the Spice Sparklers here. Just prepare for the next turn. That'll kill the Moko Totem, but the Moko Totem was dead. And I didn't see the clapback. As you can see, my last run was very strong, and I did not build a run to counter it. But there's a lot to this game. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, I initially did my 10 hours back in December. And I haven't come back to the game. But there's a lot of fun out of here. If you liked what you saw, it's definitely worth picking it up. And thank you all for joining me. This is the start of a new series, hopefully, where I just bring you my first impressions on a couple different games. And hopefully I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.